Yo, what is good, YouTube? It's Extra Saucy. Welcome to my first video. Before I get into the story here, I figure I'll just explain what this channel is kind of about. So, I'm a musician, but I've been doing drugs since I was about 14. So, I'm 19 now, and I have all these crazy stories that I write down in my notes. And I figure, all my friends who hear these are like, damn, bro, like you should put that shit on YouTube. So that is exactly what I am doing with this now. So, without further ado, taking Zans on a school field trip. So, this happened when I was a senior in high school, so not too long ago. But basically, at this point in my life, I was taking all sorts of drugs. I guess you could call it a poly addiction. But the thing is, I'm clean now. I would like to emphasize that before I get going. And I'm telling these stories not to glorify what I did because you shouldn't do it. And by hearing these stories, you'll hear the consequences. But regardless, this was for my fourth hour communications class, which was basically my last English credit. And we were going on some field trip to go and visit these people for jobs and all this. And as you guys can probably guess, since I was off Zans, I don't really remember the whole gist of what the field trip was about. That was kind of cut out of my memory, but I do remember a few key details. So before this field trip, we all had to sign up for different groups, and I forget what I signed up for, but I signed up for something. And we get there, and I remember that morning I had taken, I think, like two full ladder Xans, so 4 milligrams of Xanax. And on top of that, I was addicted to Kratom. So I would usually just take that shit with me in a bag and, pop a shit ton out. At the peak of my Kratom addiction, I was taking 100 Kratom pills a day. So what is that? 75 grams? Crazy shit. Never do Kratom. Regardless, though, I was doing that and Xans on this day. I probably smoked a little weed. I've always smoked weed. I still do. But yeah, so we take the bus ride there. I'm kind of chilling out for the bus ride there. I don't remember a whole lot of details about that, but I had one of my good buddies tell me about this whole thing, and he told me the ride there was pretty chill. So we get there, and they start splitting us up into different groups based off what we signed up for. And I'm taken away from my whole class. There's a bunch of schools here, so I'm put in this group with a bunch of strangers. And I don't remember a whole bunch from this, but I do remember this hilarious ass detail. So they take us to the classroom where they're showing us the stuff. And this was a class about like chemical compounds or something. And we sit down, and I'm so out of it. And the teacher starts the class by like saying, I know some of you probably just took this class because it talks about drugs, and I, being the only kid in the class who does this, just start laughing my ass off, like laughing a little too hard at her joke. And that was awkward as hell. But, we move on from that. I don't remember the in-between. I remember being bored as hell during this. So eventually there's a demonstration at the back of the room, and we all have to get up and go to it. And I get up, and I straight up am trying to stand there and watch this demonstration, but my legs like are just bending and shaking. Like I literally cannot support my body weight. My muscles are so relaxed. I'm so zen. I'm literally just like not able to stand. So I'm like leaning up against shit. I probably leaned up against a person at one point, just like trying not to draw attention. And the teacher definitely knew. But somehow, by the grace of God, I found my way back to my class in my bus, which amazes me because I don't remember any detail of that. But I got back to the bus, and this is where it really starts getting crazy. So during this bus ride, my buddy had a vape. The one who like had been with me the whole time, he had a vape, and I would always hit his vape. So I'm like, yo, Charles, let me hit your vape. So I hit it, and instead of zeroing it like a normal high schooler would, I just start blowing clouds, dude. Just start ripping it. And then, he's like, holy fuck, bro. And we didn't think anyone saw. So my boy hands his vape off to one of the other kids sitting by us. And, I'm going in and out of consciousness. But a teacher comes back and is like, who's vaping back here? And I'm asleep, so they don't even guess me. And the kid who is holding my friend's vape straight up gets in trouble, and he got this whole punishment and everything, and I got off scotch-free. But everyone on this bus, all like the kids in the back, this is like a very good school. I was basically one of the only kids who you could catch on this kind of timing. I was just like falling asleep and everyone's like shaking me and being like, no, he has to go home and all this. They're like, you got to get home. And they think I'm like overdosing or something, but I'm fine. Straight up, the bus gets over. I get my ass up and I literally finished out the rest of my school day and yeah, got home. Crazy ass day. I can't believe I even made it out that fucking safe. But yeah, insane, insane, insane shit I would never ever do anymore. I feel like I have to add this in here. Do not take Xanax. The withdrawals are literally the worst thing I've ever experienced, and you will have panic attacks for months after you're off them. Not just a week, months. Literally, it was so bad with my withdrawals, I would break out in hives all over my whole body. It was terrible. And I had friends who had the same thing happen, so really stay away from all that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this first video. Subscribe and like and comment and do all that. I'll be posting pretty often because I have a ton of video ideas. And yeah, these videos don't take too long to make. I'm also going to be 100% transparent here and say that this gameplay I took is 100% taken off the internet. I don't play CSGO anymore because instead of making a separate game, they turned CSGO into CSGO 2, and I really just don't like CSGO 2, and I was really big surf guy, and I can't figure out how to get onto surf anymore. So if anyone knows how to do that, comment that down below. But thank you for tuning in, and you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.